Welcome to my Hebrew channel, Mila Baraika, and I'm looking at Ruth 2, verse 8. And this is the first time that Boaz speaks with Ruth. Verse 7 ended with the report that the young man who was in charge of the harvesters, the report that he had given to Boaz. And so once Boaz hears that report, the story moves immediately across. There's no wasted words describing walking over, moving or something. It just simply goes from one conversation to the other conversation. In a sense, it moves the narrative along very quickly. Our author has that ability. It's in some points, sometimes he does describe people going from the town out to the field, or from vice versa, or from the threshing floor back to the town. We do see descriptions of people moving from one point to the other, but here there's no description of this. So what it does move things forward very quickly. And it's mostly the conversation of Boaz speaking to Ruth. It's a very interesting conversation. Let's get into the study of it. Ruth 2, verse 8, kindly have an English translation on hand so that you can compare it. I'll also open up your app and follow it along. Vayomer Boss. So you have, this is a Milel accent here, so it seems to move it along fast. So Vayomer Boss. And then Boaz said, El, to, towards, the makef here, joining this preposition with the noun here. El, Ruth to Ruth. Ruth is immediately identified here. But Boaz probably knows her name by now, because he says later on, the people in the town have explained very amply all the situation of you and your mother-in-law and so forth. So he probably does know what her name is by now. So Vayomer Boaz Ruth. And the next, the conversation here opens with a question, okay? Has it not? Is it not? Okay, or have you not? So the low is obvious low, not. We see another low just like that here. And this is a prohibition of no. So there's two ways, more than two ways actually, of saying no. One of them is low, and then al, and then low again. And so is it not, or has it not? And then you have a hey with hatev patah, and the mashara here, the Masoretes are helping us out here in defining this first particle, this first negative particle, as a question. Is it not so? Isn't this not the way it, has it not? Okay, so it's a gentle way of opening this conversation. If you just walked in and went immediately to imperatives, whoa, ouch, I'm here, I'm the boss. But here it's one way of saying, oh, okay, think about this. Okay, have you thought of this? Have you heard of this? Okay, so it's a gentle way of it's just simply opening a time of questioning. So, hello, has it not? Shama'at, have you not heard? Okay, have you not heard? So this is then second person suffix. Okay, you hearing, Shama'at. Very well known, Shama'at. Incidentally, it's not just that you've heard something, but it's also, have you paid attention to it? In other words, it's important to you. So when Shema Israel, hear O Israel, pay attention Israel. So okay, and so have you not heard? But have you not paid any attention to this? Same sense with this word Shema. In fact, have you not paid attention to? Okay, Shema'at. BT, my daughter. BT is the construct form of Bat. Bat is daughter. BT is my daughter. And we've seen this term of endearment previously with Naomi speaking to Ruth. And so it's a very pretty little word here, right in the middle. BT, my daughter. I don't know if he was old enough to be her father, but he's calling her daughter, his daughter, sorry. BT. Al, so this is a particle of negation, do not, okay. Telahi. Now we've seen telahi, do not walk, and this is you, okay. Do not telahi, do not, you should not walk. We've seen this one also at the start of our study when Ruth has said to Naomi, Telahi, where you walk. Okay, so same word. Okay, halach. The hay has suffered fetuses, and so in its place we have a tau and telahi. Don't walk. Lil kot, and this one's kot. Lakot is to harvest, to gather. We can remember that from the kof, because kof is something that you're knotting up and gathering. And then lakot. And then the lamed here on the front of this verb here makes this an infinitive construction here. So it's infinitive. It's absolute infinitive because of the construct would be a tau at the end, but here's kot. So lilakot, that is to have you don't go to harvest, to glean, to gather. Lilakot bishde. So you have in. There's not a patah here. This is a shavah, so it makes this one indefinite. The preposition that's in front here, in, doesn't have a patah. Without the patah, it's an indefinite. Makes the next word here indefinite. In a field. Okay, so don't go in a field. Shadei. So this is the root here. Sin dalat hey. Sadeh, in a field. Aher. Aher very literally means a field that's behind. We can also understand in this particular context in an other field, any other field. There is a meaning here that's also significant, and we hear it in the little phrase Elohim Acharim, okay, gods that are behind, okay. So there's fields that are behind, another field that is behind here, that's behind us, and also a field that's not just behind, but also a false field, a field where there might be trouble. So don't go to any other field where it's possibly falsehoods, trouble, and so forth. Don't go to any other field. Vegam, and also lo, do not. So this is al, prohibition. This is also same prohibition. And not. Tach. Let's see, okay, tachaburi, and don't cross over, okay, don't cross over. We have telahi and tachaburi, same prefixing, same suffixing here, and both also, these are imperfect or prefix forms of the verb, and so it's these are indicative verbs that have been converted to imperative because of the negation. So negation makes imperative word sense, gives an imperative sense to just the normal indicative forms. So talahi, don't walk, and don't cross over. Okay? Lo ta'aburi. There's avar here. The root would be ayin bet resh, to cross over. So if somebody goes up to the fords of the Jordan, walks across, he goes avar. But if you're doing it yourself, it's taubri. So this is the surik in the middle here. It gives this verb a reflexive. Don't cross over there by yourself. So taubri, don't cross over by yourself. Mizeh, from here. Okay, we've seen in the last verse of verse 8, zeh, and it's one of those things that can be this or that, and also here. Okay, so. I like to relate this particular word with the other one, with the other zeh, and it tends to define where you are. So, okay, from here, okay, from this place, mizeh, from here. And if we connect it back into the last part of verse 7. You can go back and look at that one, and it means, okay, pegs it there to the house as well. So, and here it's to this field, okay? Mizeh, from here, and thus, and so, and it seems that we end the phrase here with an ana, okay, right here. So this is the logical division of the verse, and then from that we move right on to ko, and so, and because of that, okay, it's a sense of following on that, okay, ko, tid, ba, kin, and so. Join in, okay? Hook up, join in, be closely tied. We've seen the verb before, because Once Ruth finishes her speech in the first chapter, she glues herself to Naomi. And here Boaz is telling her to glue yourself to my workers, okay, my female workers, Naharotai. And so stick with them, be with them. Debek is used, and then a man shall leave his father and mother and join himself to his wife. So same thing in Genesis 2, joining up very closely, connecting up very closely. So, and connect very closely, Tibek, Keen. Now, we have the Hidik Yod imperatives here, hortatories, the Keen, and we have the same thing here. We got a little extra for everybody. The first time we see it, we're going to see 3 or 4 more in this passage, and you can look it up on your app, and it'll say paragogic noon. Okay, what's a paragogic noon? Paragogic noon, I just say it's an intensifying noon. It's a noon that kind of pumps it up. Okay, so join yourself, or join up, really join up. Okay, join up very closely. Okay, tid bakin, im with. Okay, with is very well known preposition. We see it in Immanuel, with us, God, and so forth. Very well known preposition. It's standing by its own. It doesn't have accenting because the accenting is pulled through the makef over this way. So the accenting over here happens to be a saluk that's right at the end here. And we are missing a sof pasuk here, but our writer, we know very well that he likes ending his verses sometimes simply with a saluk, and you don't really need a sof pasuk after all that. So, okay. Im na'arotai. Now, we've had na'ar as the young man. We've had nara as the young woman. And now it's arotai. So this is arot, young women. Okay, young women. That was a feminine holam tau ending for the feminine plural. And this isn't just the naorot, the women, young women. It is the naorotai, my young women. The whole conversation here, the way he uses it, starting out with just simply asking a question and asking a negative question. He does it, let's see here. Hello. I believe he gets, no, that's a mention. I think it comes up in the next verse again. Anyway, it's one way of connecting in a very gentle way with Boaz, connecting with Ruth. But it's very proper in the whole description of what's happening here. He doesn't tell her, oh, join up with the guys. He says, join up with the gals. Okay? So, in other words, you're part of the crew, but tie up here with join in with the women that are working on the field. And very wise, often women will share among themselves what they're thinking about. And so very wise on Boaz's part to say, and very proper as well, to join up and speak with the women. Boaz here, in the beginning of any relationship, he's being very, very careful with where you're going, what you know about what's happening, where you're going to be, who you're going to be connected with. This is very true of parents of their children. Where are you going? What are you doing? Who are you connecting up with? And this is what Boaz is now defining here for Ruth. He's bringing it forward as a question. In other words, think about it, put some thought to it, and this is really how this should go, and ends up there. Join up with the women. That'll be a good thing for you. So, very good teaching here of when we begin relationships with other people. Be it in this case, we all know that the story ended in a marriage here, but in a sense, Boaz is beginning his courting of Ruth here, and you begin by looking to the safety of the other person. So a very important aspect of what we see here in this story. So Boaz is certainly a servant of the Lord, and we've seen in the greetings he had with this young man, he's a follower of Jehovah, and in the truth of that, he behaves like a perfect gentleman and says, here, this is what should be done, that's what you should do, and that's what you should do, and everything very proper. So God bless, and God strengthen you in this day, and be also very, very directive in how you handle your life, especially in relationships with other people. May God bless, may God strengthen you in this day.